Okay, so the world of I mean, it's moving so incredibly fast, it can feel like you're trying to, I don't know, decode alien tech sometimes, right?
Absolutely. It's a lot to keep up with.
But that's what we're here for. This deep dive is basically your guide, your Rosetta Stone, if you will, for the big stuff out of Google I/O 2025.
Yeah, forget just listing features.
Exactly. We're trying to get past the headlines, uncover the core ideas behind these innovations,
Think of it less like reading a press release.
and more like getting a backstage pass to what's really going on, maybe with a few trysts.
Precisely. We've gone through the full keynote transcript, looked at a bunch of news articles, analyses.
Right.
And the goal isn't just to repeat what they announce, it's to really, get under the hood, especially with Gemini, all the new AI tools.
Right.
What's fundamentally shifting here?
And what it might actually mean for you listening.
That's the key.
Okay, let's unpack this then. It really feels like everything, or almost everything, from I/O is built on some pretty fundamental AI progress. What were the core building blocks that really stood out?
Well, it's interesting seeing how Google is really emphasizing the foundational power, both the AI models themselves and, crucially, the infrastructure that makes it all run.
Right.
We don't have like the secret architectural blueprints beyond knowing they use transformers, but the impact of that core work, that's very clear.
Okay.
Think of it like understanding gravity helps you understand how planes fly, even if you don't know every detail of aerodynamics. Understanding these core model improvements helps explain the new capabilities.
That makes a lot of sense. And the numbers they shared seem to back that up, don't they? Like Gemini 2.5 Pro, that ELO score jump,
Over 300 points since the first Gemini Pro. Yeah.
and leading on benchmarks like El Marino, Web Dev Variant. That doesn't feel small. That feels like a significant leap in what the AI can fundamentally do.
It really does. An ELO score, in this context, it's sort of a measure of the AI's, let's say, strategic thinking or problem-solving skill. A 300-point jump that suggests a real step change in core intelligence.
And those benchmarks.
Right. El Marino tests conversational ability. Web Dev Arena tests coding. Leading there points to a broader set of fundamental skills.
Huh.
And you mentioned infrastructure earlier. We can't forget that. The Ironwood TPUs, claiming a 10x performance boost. That's like upgrading the engine significantly. Everything else runs faster, better.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Because if we understand this foundational progress, like you're saying, it's almost a shortcut, isn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, instead of getting totally lost in all the shiny new features, we can see that these big leaps in the core models, the underlying tech, that's the real engine driving it all.
Precisely. It's understanding the first principles at play. Like knowing physics helps you understand why a bridge stands. Knowing these core AI steps helps you grasp the potential, maybe the limits too, without memorizing every single feature.
Got it. Okay, so we've got a sense of the foundations. Now let's switch gears a bit.
Why?
Put on our critical thinking hats. Beyond the hype, the cool demos. What big questions or implications jumped out?
Well, the first thing is maybe the timing, isn't it? Why this big push, this acceleration in shipping these models now?
Good question.
And when they talk about shifting the frontier of AI, okay, great phrase, but what does that actually mean for us? More intelligence, sure, but what kind? For what purpose? We need to look past the splash.
Exactly. And those adoption numbers they mentioned, what was it, a 50x increase in monthly token processing?
Yeah, and a 5x growth in developers using the Gemini API in just a year.
Those are huge numbers. Is that sustainable? Like, what happens if AI gets integrated that deeply, that quickly? What are the ripple effects?
That's the million-dollar question, or maybe trillion-dollar question. It paints a picture of incredibly rapid growth, but raises serious points about, responsible rollout, societal impact, jobs, education, just daily life. It's crucial to think bigger picture.
It's funny. I saw a comment on Reddit. Someone described the audience reaction at the keynote as the moist slap of social obligation and secondhand embarrassment.
Oh, wow.
It made me laugh, but it also hints at maybe a disconnect, right? Between the magic being presented on stage and maybe a more reserved reaction from people actually working with this stuff day to day.
That's quite insightful. It suggests that while the big vision gets the fanfare, the practical side, the actual utility, might be viewed more critically by developers in the trenches. A good reminder to look past the polish.
So to really flex those critical thinking muscles, let's bring in some movie characters. Helps visualize the approach, maybe. Who comes to mind when you think about approaching these AI claims with a questioning eye?
Okay. I think you need a mix. For healthy skepticism,
Hmm.
maybe Han Solo.
Han Solo. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, always grounded, practical, questioning the mystical force. Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster. He'd want to see the proof behind the big claims. That's the kind of skepticism we need.
Shifting the frontier, huh? Sounds like a lot of nonsense. Show me the parsecs.
Exactly. And then, for dissecting the details, the potential flaws in these new tools, you need someone like Sherlock Holmes.
The master detective.
Right. That meticulous attention to detail, deducing things from tiny clues, that's the mindset for evaluating, say, AI mode in search or Google Beam. He wouldn't just take the demo at face value.
Holmes would be there peering at the AI mode results, muttering about longer queries, yes, but do they lead to truth or merely a more intricate web of, well, AI-generated assumptions?
Precisely that. Looking for the evidence, the practical benefit, the potential weaknesses, not just the surface presentation.
Okay, love it. So armed with first principles and our inner Han Solo and Sherlock Holmes, let's dive into specifics from I/O. First, AI mode in search. Fundamentally, what's the idea?
The core principle is pretty straightforward. Use advanced AI to make finding information better. Move beyond just keywords to actually understanding the intent behind a question, giving more insightful answers.
Okay, and the critical lens. What questions pop up immediately? You mentioned the longer, more complex queries thing.
Oh, yeah.
Is longer always better?
Exactly. Sounds good, right? Ask more detailed questions. But are the AI summaries really more accurate, more useful, or could they just be longer, maybe
Yeah.
overwhelming, or even subtly biased in how they summarize?
Good point.
Plus, the fact it's launching US only first, that raises questions about readiness for different languages, different cultures, maybe even regulatory stuff down the line.
Right, they mentioned query fan-out and deep search as mechanisms. What are those, basically?
So query fan out, think of it like the AI taking your big question and breaking it into lots of smaller related searches it does all at once. Deep search goes even further, doing a wider search, then piecing the info together to draw more nuanced conclusions than standard search.
And then there's the personal context integration. Sounds convenient.
Mm.
Maybe too convenient.
That's the potential catch, isn't it? Tailored results based on your past activity could be helpful. Or it could create filter bubbles, right? Limit what you see. And how's that personal data being handled? Protected. It's always a trade-off. Convenience versus privacy.
Okay, let's pivot. Google Beam. First principle. Making remote chat feel more real.
Yeah, that's the goal. Use fancy video and AI to make remote connections feel more immersive, more natural, closer to being in the same room.
But channeling Han Solo here, does realistic 3D really bridge that gap? And what about the practical side? Cost, setup. That Reddit comment, another video chat app, kind of captures that feeling of market saturation, doesn't it?
It's a fair point. The tech might be cool, but does it offer a truly significant advantage over what we already have? And is it accessible? History's littered with cool communication tech that just didn't catch on widely.
One detail, though, about the real-time translation in Meet. They mentioned matching tone and expressions. That feels subtle, but potentially really important.
It really is, capturing not just the words, but the feeling behind them, the tone, the emphasis that could genuinely make cross-language chat feel much more natural and effective.
Interesting.
The initial focus on English and Spanish, with plans to expand, suggests they know it's complex and are rolling it out carefully.
Okay, moving on. Gemini app and agent mode. Fundamental idea here seems to be the ultimate AI assistant. Always there, proactive.
Yes, the vision is basically an AI companion. It learns your patterns, anticipates what you might need, and can even take actions for you to make things smoother.
But critically thinking, this personal, proactive, powerful assistant, where's the line between helpful and maybe a bit creepy? Or just too involved? AI anticipating needs sounds great until it gets it wrong or feels intrusive.
That's the absolute crucial balance they have to strike. As AI gets deeper into our lives, user control and transparency are everything. You need to feel like you're in charge of the assistant, not the other way around.
Makes sense. What about deep research with file uploads and Canvas for co-creation? They sound powerful, but who are they really for? Do you need to be pretty tech savvy?
They definitely offer exciting possibilities for, deep work, research, creative collaboration. But yeah, they probably cater more to users already comfortable with digital tools who have specific needs in those areas. Ease of use will be key to how widely they get adopted beyond power users.
Got it. Briefly. Flow the AI, video creator, core principle. making video production easier for more people.
Exactly. Democratizing video creation using AI power.
Okay, critical thoughts. Potential impact on, say, the filmmaking industry.
Mhm.
How do you balance creative control versus letting the AI generate stuff? That Flow TV idea, focusing on the prompts, seemed like an interesting angle.
Yeah, the impact on creative fields is a huge ongoing discussion. AI tools can be amazing assistants, but they also raise questions about originality, the role of human artists. Highlighting prompts with Flow TV is clever. It reframes AI input as still being a creative act, just a different kind.
And it integrates VO, Imagen, Gemini, shows how different AIs work together.
Right, combining different specialized models for a complex task like video.
Lastly, Android XR glasses.
Yeah.
Fundamental idea. Embedding AI into wearables, into our physical view of the world.
That's the vision. Ambient computing.
Yeah.
Seamless blend of digital info onto your physical world, offering help right in your field of view.
But practically. Sherlock Holmes mode engaged? What about just wearing them?
Hmm.
Social acceptance, style,
Mm-hmm.
and privacy cameras, mics potentially always on.
Huge hurdles. Social acceptance is massive for wearables. Design, comfort are critical. Privacy is paramount, needs transparent controls.
And the phone dependency. That Reddit comment comparing it to the early Apple Watch needing an iPhone. It's a valid point about true independence.
Definitely. How much it can do on its own versus needing your phone will matter a lot. The fashion partnerships, Gentle Monster, Warby Parker, clearly show they're trying to tackle that style and acceptance issue head on.
Even that live translation demo they did seemed a bit risky, showing the potential, but also maybe the current rough edges.
Yeah, live demos are always high wire acts. Shows confidence, but also where the tech still is.
So all of this, it feels like it's all pointing towards, or at least nudging us closer to, that ultimate first principle driving so much AI research. Artificial General Intelligence, AGI.
I think that's fair to say. A lot of the deep, long-term research, hinted at by people like Demis Hassabis, his background in simulation games, the work on world models, robotics, it's ultimately aiming for more generally capable AI.
In AlphaFold, which they often bring up, that's a concrete example of AI making huge scientific breakthroughs, right?
Yeah,
Kind of a proof of concept for advanced AI's potential.
absolutely. AlphaFold predicting protein structures.
Right.
It's a massive achievement. It shows the transformative power AI can have on really complex problems. It definitely offers that tantalizing glimpse of what AGI could mean.
Okay, so we've looked at the foundations, thought critically, examined the specifics. Time for the bold prediction. Based on everything we've seen, agent capabilities, multimodal understanding, personalization, what's a future scenario you see taking shape, say, in the next 5 years?
Okay, drawing a line. I predict that within 5 years, we'll see the rise of truly context-aware AI companions. Not just reactive assistants, but ones deeply integrated into our devices that proactively offer help based on our context, where we are, what we're doing, our calendar, maybe even recent conversations.
So more than just responding to, hey, Google.
Yeah, much more. Imagine your AI subtly prompting you to leave for a meeting because it knows about unexpected traffic, or maybe drafting a follow-up email based on a call you just finished, anticipating you'll need it. It's moving beyond task automation to a more intuitive, anticipatory AI partnership, assuming, of course, the user control and privacy aspects are handled well.
Interesting, a genuine partnership, not just a tool. Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive on Google I/O 2025, key takeaways for listeners.
I think the big picture is just the relentless pace of AI advancement, especially in that Gemini family. It's leading to genuinely more powerful tools for finding info, creating things, and getting more personalized experiences.
And the crucial thing for you, listening, is probably to approach all this cool new stuff with both curiosity and a critical eye. Always ask about the why behind the what's.
Exactly. Understand the first principles. Question the implications. Ask yourself, what's really driving this? What are the real benefits? The potential downsides? How might it actually impact my life or work?
And maybe a final thought to leave everyone with. As AI gets woven deeper and deeper into our lives, how do we make sure we stay in the driver's seat? How do we keep our own critical thinking sharp in a world increasingly shaped and maybe even mediated by these intelligent machines?
That's the challenge ahead.
Lots to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us today.